Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Broad Talks. Today's episode, we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things within finance and things I've learned over the years from reading, as you can probably see from some of the knowledge I've gained over the years. Really good book, which was Tax-Free Wealth, which is the white one there. You learned a lot about tax brackets, what classes get taxed the most compared to others not getting taxed as much because of them putting in or those people putting in money where the government wants them to put their money, so therefore they're not getting taxed at that higher rate. Whereas the everyday working person or everyday Joe, so to speak, gets taxed at a much higher rate because they're just making their money and bringing home money for them to live. So therefore, government doesn't really see any use from their money, in a sense. Whereas investors and business owners, which are like C corp or anything like that, those are usually kind of getting like the tax breaks because those people are putting money in areas where the government likes to see their money being put toward, right? So that's why usually you see those people getting tax breaks. Um, but again, I can go over more on that at another time. And that's going to be another thing too I'm going to be covering in this book here because it's a lot of pages. I mean, that's one. Got another one here. There's so many pages. And again, it's also all the knowledge in which I've gained over the years. Not all of it's going to be able to fit maybe in this book. I'm just going to probably do this one, see how it does, and then maybe make another one about something else. Um, so today we're going to go over some finance tips um, and things that I found that work really well and things I've been applying to my life. Currently, I wish I would have known in my 20, like early teens, not early teens, but like your late teens, like 18, 19, maybe even 20 years old. These are all things I wish I would have known then, and they would have helped me drastically. And I know it will help you as well. Um, and just it's just one of those things that you believe are it's not going to fail you. It's just not. It's just almost impossible to fail you unless, of course, you somehow don't divvy up your income in a manner of following these rules. If you follow these rules, you will be setting yourself up for success. And again, this is just one of those things that really works. So the best rule is the 50-30-20 rule, right? And you may or may not know what the 50-30-20 rule is, but I'm here to try to help explain the 50-30-20 rule. So, the way the 50-30-20 rule works, and I will show you here now. There we go. I'll just move myself over this way so you get to see. There's videos on it if you want to look it up yourself. Or you could put it, or you could put into Google 50-30-20 rule, or put a 50/30/20 rule, and it'll come up with this result. Okay, for these areas here. So it's a budgeting technique, and if you do it right and you set it up the right way, it can set you up practically for life. Now, the way I would use this in my teens, okay, and what I inform other teenagers on this if they're working or have a job and you're still living at home. The way the 50% of this 50-30-20 rule, because it's all based on percentages, as you can see above there, it says something about dividing it up by your percentages. 50%, you got your 30% and 20%. So the 50% is supposed to be used for like your car payment, rent or mortgage, utilities, and food, right? Like your groceries and that. So that's like your monthly expenses. So that's like, again, you go by 50% of what you make a month. That's what that's supposed to be put toward. Not 50%, not 50% of every paycheck. That would be kind of difficult, but that's why it's best to live monthly too. Now that's another rule of thumb here, but again, you set up your budget to live monthly, okay, and always try to get a month ahead on paying or having, put out to the side. And trust me, a lot of places it's very easy. It's easier to be ahead than it is to be behind, unless of course you miss payments and if you're really late on doing things for your payments. But if you know, say as an example, you move into a place, you put your deposit down. I'm gonna tell you right now, they will literally give you a month free most of the time, which don't don't take that month free. That month is free, yes, but that month is also giving you the capability of being ahead. So what you want to do is take advantage of that month being free by getting a month ahead, so that way you don't fall behind. I'm sure that makes sense. Okay, maybe not to you yet, but trust me. Again, it's best to be a month ahead. Okay. So you have money put up, like again, so you can live monthly, right? So you take that money, right? You put that in. Now you have that money off to the side. You have it ready to go. Okay. And then you have what your living expenses are, which is your 30%. Like you want to go out to eat, uh, like unexpected things that may need to be fixed in your car or something like that. It's good to have some money, for something. Um, and then let's see, yeah. So it says here, right here, it says 50%, yeah, exactly, on all needs, which is again your mortgage, rent, vehicle insurance, all that stuff, and food. 30% on wants and shocking, shocking away is what it says, and 20% to saving. But again, the way I see the 30%, again, is either from wants or whatever else like that, right? And there's a way to just cut that kind of spending nearly by 90% by another rule of thumb there, and I can tell you that one after we continue on here. But the 20% for savings, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, inflation's been killing everybody right now, right? The way that things have been going. And it has just been insane. So, I mean, yes, you could necessarily save 20% of your income every month. But again, it's probably best to put toward investments, and or if you're going to save it, that's fine. At least have a plan for it to be used in the future to eventually turn that 20%, putting that 20% additional that you have in your savings to somehow, bring some kind of income into your 50% by making some kind of passive income stream or something, by investing into either some kind of real estate property or something that you can eventually in turn that 20% and have it accumulate into your 50%. So that way you can, increase your spending if that's what you were looking to do. But 30%, you know, yeah, you can cut that drastically. You really can. And the rule on that is the 7-day rule. Now, a 7-day rule is simple. If there's anything you may want that you really don't need at this time, whether that be, say you got clothes shopping, you see like a brand name or something like that, whatever it may be, give it 7 days. And if you really haven't thought about it, or anything like that, and you second guess buying it, don't buy it. It's just that simple. So you don't have any kind of buyer's remorse or kind of buying regret. I know a lot of people may just buy on impulse and regretting that purchase. Um, and then that's what's going to help you, cut that in more than just in half. It's going to nearly cut it by 90% or if not more. Unnecessary spending. So, like, say you're just out one day and you find yourself in a situation, you're like, you know what? We have an extra bedroom. It'd be nice to have an extra TV in there. I have the additional money to buy it. Should I buy it? And you're in that scenario, like, you know what? I'm just going to buy it. And you buy it, right? Now you're in a situation like, we don't really use that room. I should have not bought that TV. Why did I buy it to begin with? It makes no sense. Now you're just regretting buying this thing. and it just ate away at, let's say, like $700 of your own money. It made no sense whatsoever to purchase that TV, right? Um, so, like I said, now say in this scenario you see that TV and say you didn't buy it and you actually follow along with the roll. Say, by, not the next day, but give it like 3 or 4 days and you're like, you know what? I'm second guessing it. Let's not buy it, right? You're just like, it just makes no sense. We're not really in that room. We're not really, there's no one really in that room or taking up that space. Who's really ever going to watch that TV? It makes no sense to buy it. You know what? Forget it. We don't need it. There you go. Now you just saved yourself that money, because why would you want to buy something if you're not going to need it anyway, right? Give yourself some time to live with the thing you may want not being there, right? And then to really see if you really want it after that time. Now, if you're still thinking about it, and you have the funds, it's within, that 30%, of your budget. No, not the full 30%, obviously, because there may be other things you may want. So I would say probably within maybe 20%, if that. Then sure, right? Let's go for it. But if it's like a much larger purchase, like so let's say a car or something like that, and it doesn't fit within the 50%, I would say I wouldn't really go for it at that point, because it doesn't necessarily fit within the 50% budget of your monthly income. So then therefore it's not really going to help you. If anything, it's going to cripple your 50%, making that, or increasing your 50% to probably 55, or if not 60% of your overall spending. You want to try to keep it at a true 50%. Now, going back to what I said earlier about like teenagers who are working, and it may be best for them to fit this budget rule here of the 50, 30, 20 on their own when they're still living at home. And here's why. If they use the 50% to pay themselves, one, as if they're paying rent, right? Say they pay themselves $500 a month, right? Like, I'm not saying you can't find a place for rent provider, because there's no way. But if you pay yourself $500 a month, let's say someone is, let's see here. I wonder if I have a calculator on here. I'm sure I do. Calculator, yep, here we go. So let's bring up the calculator. Okay, let's say someone's 18, right? So someone's 18, and they're going to do this for even 2 years, right? 2 years is 24 months. 24 months times up by $500. That's $12,000 saved. 12,000 within 2 years, by the way. So by the time they're 20 years old, okay, by the time they're 20 years old, they have $12,000 saved on their own. That's a big chunk of change. Now, let's say 20%. Okay, let's say 20% added to that. So say 500. Let me see here. I'm trying to think of simple math here. 500 was to 50. See if they brought him 1,000, or no. I'm trying to think of something realistic. So probably, for a teenager to bring home, probably like we'll do 1,400, okay, a month. Now I know it's possible for them to bring a lot more, but we're gonna say we'll do 15 to make it easy. So say if they brought home $1,500, right? So let's times this by point. What do we need here? So 50, 50, and 20. That's 70%, right? 70%. So they pay themselves this right here, $1,050, right? They pay themselves that in rent, and then they use this for whatever expenses they may want or whatever, right? I'm talking being super budget friendly here, okay, if anything. Because, I mean, $500 as a teenager, when you still live at home, a month should be a lot of money, and who cares? I mean, at that point, you're working full time, yes. I'm telling you, get a full time job and do it this way. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me later. Now, here's why. Say if you take this amount here, right? Well, the $1,050. See if I can clear that. Okay, so $1,050. Okay, times that by 24 months. $25,200 within 2 years. Now, you can either invest it in a portfolio after you save that much money, or again, you're still living at home, give yourself a 2-year plan. That ain't bad. That's actually a pretty good chunk of change. Again, I wish I would have done this as a teenager myself. I would have definitely followed this. Trust me. I would like to see that within a 2-year frame. That's not bad. Now, that's only if you pay yourself every month $1,050 a month as a teenager for 2 years. Okay, it's only 2 years. That's enough to buy a brand new car outright. That's enough money to do whatever you may want. But again, changing your mindset. Think about what you want. Give yourself 7 days. Figure that out later, right? You may find out you may not want that new car because the car maybe your parents bought you or something else that you have that you're using right now. Even though it may not be the best car, it's still a car that's able to get you around, so there's no point to upgrading that car. Or you may have other plans for this money. What's better yet, how about we give this more time, right? Say you take that money and say you did it longer. Say if you did it for double the amount of time, say 4 years. Say 4 years. Well, say you did it from 18 to 22, right? So you got 18, so you go 19, 20, 21, 22. So you go 4 years, right? Let's do it for 4. I'm telling you, you're going to see how crazy this is. $50,400. That's actually not bad. I'm telling you. The stuff that they don't teach you after school is a load of crap. And this is why. Okay, so you got to pay attention. But yes, absolutely. I would say do 70% if you still live at home. Pay yourself, like as if you're paying rent. Put it in your savings account. Take the other, 30%. Put it toward yourself and what you want, right? Because that's what the 30% is supposed to be used for anyway. Okay, so I'm telling you, if you put that 30% toward your wants and needs now, learning this mindset, eventually you're going to not even pay attention to the other 70% anyway, because 50% of it's going toward your bills, your utilities, and everything like that anyway, and the other 20% is going to be going toward your investments possibly every single month. And you're just feeding into this cycle. So say, you take this $50,400, you divvy it up to put a couple down payments on properties, and for you to eventually get into, you can start applying methods in real estate, and therefore creating rental properties with this money that you saved. Therefore, you're able to become possibly a millionaire by the time you're 26, maybe 28 years old. Okay? And schools don't teach this method at all, which I find to be absolutely crazy. And there's reasons why they ain't going to teach it, because they feel as if they were to teach it, they would be completely out of business. And you may not think that's possible, but I'm telling you, there's a whole nother way of learning. I mean, I know I lived at home myself. I didn't really live out on my own, I think, until I was that 25, probably 25, 26 years old. Okay, and I'm telling you, this method here, I'm telling you, you put it toward a rental property or something you're considering, trying to build up your portfolio, or you're trying to put all this money in here toward an investment, or something like that. I'm telling you, you put it toward an investment that pays dividends every year. That right there is going to become something that's going to keep on paying you dividends every year. So you're just earning interest on money just sitting in an account. That's all you're doing. And that is one of the best things anybody can do too. Okay? So, yeah, if you do that for 4 years, that's what you will have. That's what you will have. And trust me, I work with teenagers now, and I try to explain the same methods as I'm explaining it here right now, and they don't want to listen to me. They don't. And they're making more than this. They're making more. I'm telling you. Like, look, I have someone right now probably making close to, let's say, bring home. I'll say more toward like the 18 or 19. I'm gonna say 19. Right? There we go. Okay. Times that by 0.70. Right? This right here is what they should be paying themselves. Like they pay themselves right now for 4 years. So times that by 48. Okay, what they should be paying themselves. You do that for 48 months. They would have $63,840 within 4 years. Okay, so they'll probably be 23 or 24, but they'll have $63,840 at that time, saved up, ready to invest, finding either a business partner or something that they can, get into, as far as business will go. They can start their own business, they can find things to do. Don't get me wrong, you can start a business for a heck of a lot less than this, I'll tell you right now. But that's actually not a bad chunk of change within a 4-year time frame from you just living at home, having no bills, and being very humble and going out to party. You sacrifice all that time. Don't get me wrong, you can still use your 30%. You still have 30% of your income to use for going out partying, whatever, having fun, but you're just not doing it as much possibly, and then you're saving all this money to be used for other things in which you could be using it for to help better your future. Okay, so that is the lesson for today. And again, the next lesson you'll see in the near future. But again, that's why I'm writing the book, because these are things I've learned over the years. And again, I've been applying them to myself as well. So, yeah, it's one of those things that's really good. It really works very well. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh, forgot where my mouse was. Now, peace out. See you guys.